Hey Music World, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this latest Joji record. It's called Piss in the Wind. You know him, you may hate him, you may love him, Mr. George Miller, aka the former Filthy Frank, who is, for the last decade now or so, has been living a very different lifestyle and putting out some very sad boy alternative R&B tunes. And for the most part, my thoughts on his music has always been sort of a mixed bag. The In Tongue's debut EP that he had put out, I thought there was a lot of good here. I thought that Pills and Window were just genuinely great tunes. I was just kind of starving for more with an only 15-minute runtime. I had a lot of the same feelings in a different way on his full-length debut, Ballads 1. Wanted You and Yeah Right were some really great tunes I could sink my teeth into. But the album always seemed inconsistent to me. There were safe choices here, experimental cuts here, and not a lot of real consistency in between. There was also times where it just felt like George was holding back. Now, I did think that 2020's Nectar was his best work yet. It was his longest project to date at 53 minutes, and tracks like Run and Sanctuary were some of his best yet. But the lows were also really low, like the Diplo collab, Yuck. And his last project, Smithereens, only deepened my back and forth feelings on his music. When it was good, I thought that George was putting out some of his best material ever. It was just alongside of some of his weakest and strangest cuts to date. Now, leading up to this thing, Joji has dropped a slew of singles that were pretty experimental, honestly, a little bit more abrasive and noisy, and I've been wanting him to flesh out his sound forever, so let's dive in. When this album is on, it's easily some of the more engaging material that Joji's put out, like Pixelated Kisses, this album's first single that it dropped. It's a very short intro, just about over a minute. The very hazy and noisy and blaring synths over George's heavenly vocals. It's a pretty interesting duality. It's more adventurous and abrasive, and honestly, this is a sound that I wish we heard a lot more of. Cigarette keeps a lot of that same energy alive. This is definitely, George's music with a little bit more of a bite to it, which I appreciate. This off-kilter abstract hip-hop tune is definitely cloudy and psychedelic and hypnotic even. Not only that, but his performance on this track has got a lot of charisma. If his usual blend of sleepy R&B tunes isn't for you, check it out. I really do like Last of a Dying Breed as well. This is a much more upbeat and urgent synth-pop tune. I think George does a pretty good job with it. It's upbeat, it's hazy, and strangely hopeful as well. That sense of urgency paired with this syrupy vocals over the pulsating beat, it's interesting. Love You Less, it's a polarizing tune, but I really enjoy it. I think it's one of the best singles here. I love the sort of heavy neo-psych feel to it. It's very Mac DeMarco Salad Days era. It's bouncy, it's heartfelt, and one of the most sentimental tracks here. It just shows just how many different styles that Joji is touching down on here, and I appreciate it. If it only gets better, I really do love this as well. Once again, it is painfully short. It's barely over a minute, but the lo-fi warmth and the lapping guitars are hypnotizing. But honestly, that's why I'm glad we have such a beefy album from Joji here. There's a lot of material here, and with that, I don't mind a couple of detours here and there. Piece of You featuring Gibeon is one of my favorite deep cuts here. A lot of Joji's piano ballads really do hit the spot for me, and this is a great one. It's immersive, it's heartfelt, and Gibeon's performance is really emotional. It's a genuinely great slow jam. I also really do love Tarmac. That bulky, murky beat alongside of this strum guitar is a really interesting duality again. Personally, I really appreciate the way that Joji is continuing to experiment and push his sound further. However, I do have to say, there is a mid-album slump here, and it's pretty noticeable. Like Love Me Better, for example, this track to me is just a more mid version of Last of a Dying Breed. The beat is awkwardly stuck somewhere between lo-fi and very polished, and honestly, it's just kind of ugly. The chorus isn't that exciting either. Hotel California just sounds so incredibly phoned in. The melody sticks and it's okay, but this sounds like another dozen Joji tracks, like we've been here. Before I Touch the Ground is one of the more frustrating moments here. I actually really love the production quite a bit. But it's moments like this that Joji just sounded like he had a couple of extra minutes in the studio and wanted to fill this, because it's really not nearly as captivating. These are moments where I just still feel like he's not giving us his 100%. Past Won't Leave My Bed, it's fine. It's totally fine. I get why people like it. I get why it was a single. It does have an epic and grandiose feel to it. But it's by far the least memorable single of this collection of tracks as far as I'm concerned. And Can't See Shit at the Club isn't that interesting either. It's way too safe, to the point where it doesn't even sound like a Joji track anymore. It's just flavorless alternative R&B, and there's 21 tracks on this album. It really didn't need to be here. And Silhouette Man and Strange Home aren't like completely awful, but they fall into that same category, just very safe and not really necessary. I mean, this album obviously could have used some trimming. But while this album isn't perfect and flawless, I do think that this is one of Joji's more concrete projects. Fade to Black featuring Forbats is absolutely gorgeous. The atmosphere here just feels completely limitless. It's hushed, it's serene, but it's very intimate. It lets the vocals on display here really shine. It's only a little bit over a minute, but it does leave an impression, as does Sojourn, my favorite track here. The noisy production of this track just wakes you right up. And you know, a lot of my issues in the past with Joji's albums is how things tend to blur. This does not blur. It's a bold left turn, and I really loved every second of it. Don't You Know I Love You is another knockout. The beat here is cinematic and massive, and while George's vocals aren't perfect on this cut, the production tricks alone make this track worth listening to. Rose Colored with Yeet does work shockingly well. Yeet fits this... Yeet just fits the vibe of this track so much, and the synth work here is incredible. Fragments featuring Don Tolliver brings a sort of dark and dramatic edge to this. Don sounds right at home here. This atmosphere is intoxicating. I wish we heard a lot more of this. Horses to Water is really cool too. It's so tragic. There's such a sense of finality here. And Dior is a hell of a finale. The bulky beat, the emotionally drained vocals, and a cinematic send-off that just feels just right for this record. It's really good. You know, despite how bloated and inconsistent this album can get at times because of just how much material is here, I would argue that this is one of the more interesting Joji records. He's experimenting, he's taking risks, he's trying new things. I salute all of that. Now, I will say the mid-album slump definitely holds it back from greatness, but the highs are very high. It feels closer than ever to the No Rules Joji record that I have been craving so much. And for that, I'm feeling the lightest 7 imaginable. But let me know what you all think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you're feeling froggy, turn on those notifications, and of course, let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.